So we are starting our third taper this weekend. We are hopping in the car, going to pick up the girls. They're at my parents' house. We're going to go get them picked up. Puppies get to come with us. We got a full car here. So taking today off of any training. It's Thursday, not the Thursday right before, 2 Thursdays before the race. And then we'll get in some good hard training tomorrow at the gym at my parents' house. And then really kind of spend the rest of the weekend doing a lot of relaxing and chilling and family time. And then we'll come back next week and get in our kind of pre-race workouts. I'll check in with y'all later. Hey everyone, just checking in. We got back from Ohio last night, so it's July 5th today. Pretty tired, not gonna be honest. Didn't sleep well while we were there pretty much the whole time. We had 3 late nights in a row, and even though the last night wasn't bad, got up early, drove back, and had that car ride. So really not feeling the workout this morning, but I'm up. We do have a race on Saturday, so there's not any crazy workouts in the schedule this week, which is good. Gives me time to work on getting back on schedule while I go through the taper week. So the plan is to get in some stretching this morning, some mobility work, make sure my legs are in a good place. I did some stretching last night when we got back, just, tight for being in the car for about 9 hours. So get some more stretching in, and probably a ride later tonight, get back on the bike. It's supposed to rain though, so it's a good chance it'll be an indoor bike, but just get in the bike, get my legs going at a little bit of intensity, nothing crazy, but keep it short and simple. And yeah, I will check in with y'all later. Good morning. So we are about 3 days out from our next race. It's Wednesday now. I am finding that our trip has finally kind of caught up with me. We had 3 late nights the night we drove in, and then 2 nights of fireworks. So I wasn't in bed before 11:30 for 3 nights in a row, which is very unusual for me. Usually I'm pretty promptly in bed around 8:30 maybe, and asleep close to 9:30 maybe at the latest on a late night. So it caught up with me a little bit, didn't really sleep in a lot. So working on getting back into my normal schedule. It does mean my motivation's really pretty much zero at this point. So it's a good thing we're in a taper week and we have the race coming up, with the caveat that hubby's foot is acting up. So we're keeping an eye on that, because if his foot doesn't feel good, he can't race. We don't want to risk injuring it or doing bigger damage or more damage than is already there. So he's resting it right now. I'm doing very light workout. I did a run in this morning, and again, more stretching. Still feeling a little tight from all that car ride that we did going back and forth to Ohio. And yeah, I will check in with y'all later. Happy Thursday. We're now 2 days till our next race possibly. So hubby's foot is still really acting up at this point. I'd put the probability at maybe 30% that we actually make the race, the start line here. It's the hardest, hilliest course. Nothing else we do compares to this race really at this point. So at least for what we have planned this year. So while we would love to be there and not, and race this race again, missing it wouldn't be the end of the world. So just trying to figure out, what do I do? Because if we're racing, it's obviously a taper, and I wouldn't want to do too much. If we're not racing, then I need to get something in. So been kind of keeping it lightish. I'm gonna go knock a run out this morning, and but keep it nice and short with a little bits of intensity in there, and then just still keep up on the mobility work and lots of stretching. Happy Friday. So we are officially not going to be doing the race this weekend or tomorrow. Hubby's foot is just not in a position where we can do that. So I'm kind of scrambling, and it was a taper week. So wanted to keep it light in the event his foot got better and we did end up racing. I didn't want to have to kill myself, because the race on Saturday was super hilly, with all the hills at the end of the bike ride, of course, and then pretty hilly run as well. So wanted to make sure I didn't, had my legs really well rested, especially after not feeling great from the car ride in late nights when we were at my parents' house for the 4th. So not sure what I'm going to do today, but I'll figure we'll plug something in, probably definitely mobility and stretching, get ready for the weekend. Now that we're not going to race, I'll get in a long run and a long ride over the weekend, kind of jump back in as if I had been doing a 70.3 training all along. And then we have 2 weeks to our next race, which is the Boston Triathlon. And that one is super duper flat, swim in the harbor, flat looped course for the bike, and a looped course for the run as well. It's an Olympic distance. There's a sprint race that same weekend also, which is part of why it's looped. We do multiple loops. The sprint does, one, at least on the run. I think on the bike they do 2 and we do 4 or something like that. So first time I'll be doing that race. Hubby's done it before and really enjoyed it. So we're squeezing it into our schedule. Hope everyone has a fantastic weekend, and I'll catch up with you later. Happy Saturday morning. So this was supposed to be race morning, our first Olympic of the season. Or actually, hubby already did an Olympic, my first Olympic of the season. But we canceled it with hubby's foot hurting. Didn't want to chance him doing more injury. So he's taking the weekend off. He's taking the whole week off, trying to get better here. It's been affecting his sleep, so he's not even sleeping well enough to really be racing well anyway. So I'm going to pop out, and since my training plan had thought we were racing, I kind of had to rejigger stuff last night. So going to get in a 6-mile run. It's not terribly long, but it's actually slightly longer than I would have done in the race today anyway, which was only like a 5.9 mile run in that race. And then I'll get in some cross training, some mobility stretching type stuff as well this afternoon, probably with the kiddos, get them a little more active, and probably go on the boat today too. It's freaking gorgeous here, so excited. First really nice weekend we've had in a while. And then tomorrow's plan will be to get in, our loop is 15 miles we do, so either a 30 or 45 mile bike ride. Kind of just depends on how the legs feel after the run today. Hi, so we are, just under 9 weeks out now from our first 70.3 race, which is coming up in September. So we're getting excited and counting down. We did cancel or not go to our race this past weekend. Hubby's foot acting up. And I do these races so that we can do them together. So if he's unable to go and it's not local, then I'm generally gonna pull out with the as well. So instead we spent a lot of time, family time on the boat, got some training in, both strength, mobility, and a run. I'm gonna get my longer bike ride in this evening. We're ramping up in 2 weeks. We have our next race, also an Olympic up in Boston. So excited, first time I'll be doing that race. So excited to see that course, which is also relatively flat. So a good kind of another, again, precursor check on where things are going into the 70.3. So getting excited as things count down, even though it's still quite a ways away. But yeah, I'll check in with you guys later. Happy Tuesday, everybody. We are, a little over 8 weeks out now from our next race. Getting in a bike ride this morning. It's a gorgeous day. It's like 74 already. Still a little chilly, so pull out the long sleeve bike kit. But getting a ride in, enjoying the sunrise here as well. And yeah, feeling great. Definitely felt very worn down last week after the travel 4th of July weekend. So maybe it's a good idea for that perspective that we didn't race. If we want to do that race, which is always the weekend after 4th of July, we probably need to not be traveling 4th of July weekend, which I feel like we usually are doing something that weekend. So yeah, looking forward to our next race then is in about a little over 2 weeks. Up is the Boston Triathlon. It's flat. They have a sprint and Olympic going on at the same time, so it's all looped course. So we can all be on the same course, just do different number of loops. So I've never done that race before. Looking forward to it. Just another chance to measure my progress and my training for the year. And given it's flat, similar to Atlantic City, and looped like Atlantic City, it's actually, I'm looking forward to it as a
kind of proxy for how I might be able to do there. And then we actually added another race in early August when I was supposed to be at Nationals. Well, we logistically couldn't make that work this year. We've had another local race that actually it's not an Olympic, but it's not a 70.3. It's actually somewhere in between. I think it's 30-mile bike ride and what was it? Maybe an 8-mile run. It's odd. Maybe it's even a 10-mile run. Odd lengths. But again, also flat. So I got another proxy, and then that race is basically exactly a month before Atlantic City. So get one final build in there. So we're doing my second to last build of the season right now. And yeah, I'm gonna go knock out this bike ride, and I'll catch up with y'all later. So, just got my run done. Decided to change it up midway through my run. Since it was supposed to be easy and I had nothing really planned, kind of felt the prerogative to do what I felt like doing. So I hadn't realized I hadn't done hill reps in a while. So I got over to where there's some hills now. I work right off the Long Island Sound. There's really not much in the ways of hills here, period. So this one neighborhood that I run past or through on a regular basis has a hill on the way in. Has a fairly steep one. So I'd like to do my hill repeats there, whereas it's probably been a month since I've done hill repeats. And now the 3 races we have left are all relatively flat, but this should only make those feel a lot easier. We may throw another one in at the end of the season, and if we do that, that one would be really, really, really hilly. So I do want to keep up my hill fitness on both the bike and the run, so that if we do that course, I can do better than last year, as I did horribly in that race last year. Clearly it was the end of the season and my legs just blah, blah. So got that done. Gonna go inside, and today, since we've done 2 strength days in a row, we'll take a rest day on strength today, but get in a really good stretch and roll. Definitely can feel I'm a little tight, and then I gotta swim tonight. Happy Thursday. So got in a really good swim last night. Yesterday was really the first time that I felt like I was back to my old self when it came to training, with all the recovery and taper weeks that we had go on in June and early July. I felt a little out of sync. You know, you get used to a certain schedule, and I definitely got out of schedule. So back on my kind of normal schedule, which felt really good last night. So I got in a really good swim, just under a mile total. It was actually my first time back swimming in week 2.5 weeks maybe. It'd been a long time. So I couldn't find time really to get into the pool, and then we were traveling, and it was, you know, not in the cards. For me though, because swimming is my strongest of the 3, I have flexibility, the most flexibility in missing or skipping those sessions versus the bike or the run, where when I miss them, I see a much bigger drop off. On the swimming, I don't really see a big drop off in my times or my pacing or my cadence when I take small breaks like that. So swim was great. Felt really good to get back in the pool. Every time I take a break and I go back, I always realize how much I miss it. I really, swimming really is my favorite of the 3 activities to be doing and practicing. So felt great. Got in some cross training, HIIT, light, body weight training this morning. And then because it's ridiculously humid and I had some issues on my bike some issue with my tire on Tuesday that I haven't had a chance to look at yet. I'll go home and get my bike in tonight indoors most likely, and I'll follow that with a brick run to make sure my legs still feel good off the bike. I'll check in with you guys later. Hey, so we are 8 weeks out from Atlantic City. Just got in a long ride, which we did after a long run. It's totally not the order I usually do it in, but I got my COVID booster, my second one, on Thursday, and it's Sunday today. And by about 4 on Friday, felt like I hit a wall. So got training in Friday morning, but yesterday made the decision that, given how I felt, knowing we're racing the Boston Olympic Tri in a week, it wasn't worth trying to push it and possibly making myself more sick. So the better thing to do was to take yesterday as a rest day, total recovery day. Just did some light cleaning around the house and hung out with the family. So lots of family time. And then today, we went ahead and doubled up because I woke up feeling great. So our priority was getting the run in. So we did the run first.
And then we're feeling decent after a 6.5 mile run. So we're like, let's go do a bike loop. And then on the bike, my little thing, my little radar fell off. So I didn't notice until I passed hubby, and he was like, wait, where's your backlight? So I had to backtrack, which made the ride longer, but in a good way. And luckily it wasn't on like a steep hill or something. We had to like go down and back up. So I got a little extra in. So got a little over 20 miles in on the bike, which honestly the Boston Tri is actually a little short. So it is a 10K run, but the bike is only a 20-mile bike ride, and it's all flat. So doing 20 today on our hard hilly course we have here around our house, it's gonna be so much harder than the race next week. So feeling pretty good. Legs are feeling it at the end there. So got in some good effort today, and now we're gonna go hang out with the kiddos, probably go on the boat. It's gorgeous after yesterday being completely nasty, although it's crazy humid. But looking forward to getting on the boat and getting in some quality kiddo time. And if I'm feeling up to it, might go get a swim in tonight, only because I usually wouldn't do this, but I have a hair appointment tomorrow night. And so if I'm getting my hair cut, I'm not gonna want to swim after my haircut for a couple days usually. So tapering anyway, although this will be a slightly different taper, which I will talk about in another video. Hope everyone is doing great, and I'll catch up with you later.